All right, all right. Looks like we are good to go. Jumping back in. Okay. Cool. So we're jumping back in. This will be the last session. Last session for the automated faceless niche AI video generator. Should be able to get this one tuned up. Got to jump back into it, make sure all my connections are good. So last week we left off generating some new testing images. And we were going to tune up some stuff in here. So I'm using, everyone jumping into this, what this build is. This is a faceless video generator. I'm using fal.ai API. I'm making calls to that API with the HTTP modules. So I'm using Flux to generate images, using Minimax to generate videos. And you can see we could add in a bunch of different models. You know, Flux AI has lots of different models to choose from. And browsing fal.ai, you can find whatever models you might need and make calls to those with the HTTP modules. So we dove into the fal.ai module a little bit. It has limited capability, but using the HTTP module kind of takes care of all of those things anyway. So this build, we're finishing this one off. So I'm actually just reminding myself where we're at from last week. Going about my regular workday, just filming it so people can jump in and watch the process. Cool, so what we need to do, a couple things. I wanted to create a new prompt writer just to get some interesting prompts coming out of here. So let's tackle that. I think I need to reconnect some of the modules in here. So I'm going to give this a test run, but I need to throw in an OpenAI connection account. That one should work. For that, I think that's the only OpenAI module. So everything should be connected. What we got going on in here? The Vikings video we started last week. Awesome. So I think I'll create a new video, but I want to come up with a prompt writer here. So let's use my generic theme writer as a base. Come into ChatGPT. Paste that in, say, this is my prompt. This will intake a theme. I want you to rework every image prompt output is a description of a Viking. We'll go with the Viking prompt writer. All right, so here's the new prompt. Viking themed image prompt. Generate a visually rich text prompt. Each output should evoke raw, untamed spirit of the Viking age. Cool. Establish mood. Describe key features. Include Viking warriors. So let's tailor this to say I want every image, every final resulting image to be of a Viking warrior. So this, prompt engineering, this stuff, people make it way harder than it needs to be. Basically, any prompt you want to build, you can just have a conversation with a language model, say, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is what I want it to do, and it's going to output something really cool that you can copy and paste as a prompt. So we're getting a new prompt. I think the input needs to be different, but we can mess with that. So define warrior's environment. And then we have the art style. So let's take that out. Remove any art style. Collins, we got you in the YouTube. Stylization. Remove any art style or stylization parameters, I guess. Parameters. So in the build, we've got the prompt presets for art style, stylization, right? We could add in different art styles here for the overall style of the output. We want to be able to have that modular. So, a Viking project, but Vikings that are anime or illustration or whatever. So we don't want the prompt to have any art style. All right, describe the warrior's surroundings, lighting, sensory details, describe appearance, describe the action. Composition and focal points, okay. So these are some of the output image prompts we'll get. Pretty cool. I think that's going to work. I think we need to restructure the input. So let's say this prompt should intake any description or setting or phrase. Let's make it let's see what that comes out with. This prompt should intake any description or setting or phrase and output an image prompt. Okay, so input accepts any phrase, setting, description, stormy ocean, mystical forest, city under siege. Creates a highly detailed prompt where Viking warrior is always present. And then we get the prompt structure here. That's probably pretty good. Cool. So for the last thing, I always add this prompt at the end of everything I do, pretty much. Say, is this best is this the best way to write this prompt? Suggestions, and then necessary. Is this the best way to write this prompt? Make any suggestions and then rewrite the prompt. Instead of just a description, setting a phrase explicitly state that the input can be anything. Okay. Okay, last prompt here, I'll say write this prompt so I can copy and paste it into ChatGPT. Good. If I wanted to get real crazy with this prompting, I would, I'd spend some more time on it, but we'll see what this one comes out with. Just have it rewrite it so I can copy it, throw it into the automation, and create a final video. Might need to throw some more credits in my Fal.ai account. We'll do that right now. While this is generating, probably have enough credits in here, but throw in a couple bucks just to make sure. Using Minimax for the generations is pretty expensive. I think Kling's more expensive, but doing the math, I get questions on how much does this automation cost? How much does it cost per video, right? It's hard to tell because I'm using Make, I'm using Airtable, I'm using a bunch of other tools in here. We got JSON to video. So I like the pay-as-you-go structure mainly because I'm not a content creator. I'm not outputting tons and tons of content. If you're outputting tons and tons of content, most likely you're going to want to get on some kind of unlimited AI plan with your AI tools, right? Kling and all this stuff. But for me, the pay-as-you-go models are going to be better. So doing the math with these unlimited plans with Kling and stuff like that, all these built-in workstations like Free Pick, I think, I'm not sure. I have a list of all these AI tools. I always forget. I can't keep up with them all. But it ends up being about the same cost per month for the unlimited plan as running the automation with the pay-as-you-go models doing it this way, right? So roughly, the cost per video ends up being about the same with the number of credits you get on these unlimited, so-called unlimited plans, right? So it's up to your particular use cases, right? Are you trying to produce 100 videos a day, 1 video a day? What are your capabilities here? So let's jump back over to here. Prompt writers, we got the prompt. Throw my credits into Fal. Maybe, there we go. And let's grab this prompt. So So how to use, this is nice. Simply paste the entire prompt into ChatGPT and provide any phrase, theme, or setting. ChatGPT will, yeah, cool. So let's go ahead and we'll copy all these examples as well. And there we go. So this is our entire prompt, and we'll put this into our Viking writer. Viking prompt writer. So this prompt here will generate a number of text prompts that will then generate images. So this is the prompt right here. Let's just copy this. Oops. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Cool, so we're gonna start a new project. We'll go with a new Vikings project. Do Viking full video test. Let's create this in portrait orientation. Now we can choose that new prompt writer from the list. We got our Viking prompt writer. I will leave the photograph style. That really works with the Flux model. That's still what we're using for image generation is Flux realism model. So for the input here, let's do Vikings. We could do Vikings, say, in corporate America. Let's do Vikings. Let's just do, I don't know, Vikings. Vikings on an alien planet. See what happens. Because it should be able to take in any setting, right? Any scenario, anything is kind of what we gave it. So take in any input I provide, whether it's a setting, emotion, action, object, or phrase, and generate a highly detailed image description. Yeah. Cool. Got Clyde in the school group stream. I hope I hope the audio's working this time. Okay, let's see. Yes, it's working. Great. Just jumping windows, jumping tabs over here. All right, so we got our settings. Let's just leave it set to manual. I haven't really set up the auto settings. I don't think I will for this build, just because, well, just because I don't want to burn through my credits in Foul.ai automatically generating videos. But we can set everything to run automatically. Once you hit this button, it'll spit out a video. We could set that up. But for now, in manual mode, we'll go in, we'll look at all the prompts being generated and decide if we want to change them, tweak them. So let me just hit start, but make sure the make scenario is on. Everything should be plugged in. I did switch around some API keys, so I'm not sure. I do that every time. I go in there and make new API keys, forget which API keys I'm using, delete them all out, start over, make new keys. But let's just see what we got in here. So I'll hit start. That'll run. We'll back out of here so we can watch it. Now, some people jumping in might be wondering, why are you using make instead of N8N? Everyone is jumping into N8N. Doesn't look like my scenario is running. So, oh, there it goes. So the answer to that is shiny object syndrome is real. N8N is super shiny. Everyone's getting into it. I'm getting into it. It is awesome. The power that you have being able to self-host with N8N is great. These tools aren't new. Make and 8N, they've both been around for a long time. N8N came out in 2019. Make was bought over by Solanas and became Make really in 2022. So N8N has been around for a while. And it's just, getting popular right now. So if you're using Make, my advice is if you're using Make for your business and it works and there's nothing wrong with Make and you don't wish it could do anything more, then you don't have to jump over to N8N. If you want to explore more of agentic stuff, Make has that stuff coming out pretty soon. But if you want to explore more with that, get into N8N. If you want to, Make still has way more integrations, way more capabilities than N8N. But if you want to learn automation, keep up with it, utilize, a different style of workflow, then definitely jump into N8N. I'm having fun with it, and it feels better for sure than Make, but Make can still do a lot more. So that looked like it came through. Let's check it out. In the generation table, we should have a new Vikings project. This is the old test right here. Here's our new Vikings full video with those prompts coming through. And we've got our create a DSLR camera quality. This is the image style prompt, the photograph style prompt. We check the prompt presets. The photograph style says create a DSLR camera quality, ultra realistic. And so that gets added in there. And we've got our alien planet prompt coming through. Viking on an alien planet, Viking on an alien planet. And then our prompt writer, our Viking prompt writer, is now creating all of these unique settings related to a Viking. So the Viking on an alien planet, towering figure with braided hair, fearsome, wears a helmet. Planet's unusual twin suns illuminate the rugged terrain. This is great. Next prompt. Viking is a robust warrior, muscular form, concealed cloak. Fish with silver scales and fish skin. That's great. Poised on an icy ridge. Yeah, so this is coming out really nice. Like I said, with the automatic settings, these prompts would come through, it would automatically start generating the images, automatically add a video prompt, and then automatically start creating the videos, then automatically combine them. But with the manual setting over here, everything can be kind of tuned up. I can get into all these prompts and change them if I want. So, if we want to tailor a specific scene in manual mode. Cool, that looks beautiful. Let's just create all these images and see what happens. So we've got the generation actions. Let's generate images, trigger all those. We're still getting 5 scenes spit out very consistently. That's in our system prompts over here. So I have the JSON bot. This JSON bot prompt is creating a JSON for all of these images. So we're returning an array of 5 prompts. That makes those 5 different scenes. Let's see our make automation running. Let's back out of it so we can watch it run. Great, so this is, I thought this might fail because this is probably the API key issue. I gotta go set up another API key. Let me just flip this on, delete old data, and throw another API key in here. So I gotta stop doing that. Someday I'll learn. Probably not. All right. API key. Just gonna get into my database and save this key anyway. Permanent file key. All right. So I'm just going to drop this API key into all the make modules off screen. Just so no one would steal my API key, burn up all my credits. Not that anyone would, right? Okay, that looks good. Cool, let's try that again. I'll come back over here. And generate images. Cool, 5 operations running. So what this one is doing, it's running down this chain, coming into the HTTP module, and making a call to fal.ai. If you guys haven't checked out fal.ai, one of the people in my school group, Roberto, showed me this API. Super cool. Has a bunch of models to explore, so we can explore all of these types, filter by all of these types right here. So if we check out the text to image, these are all the text to image models. A lot of flux models. We got stable diffusion, right? All these models to choose from, and it's just a matter of setting up the HTTP node with the settings from each of these models. And so what I'm using for Flux is the Flux Realism model here. All right, let's jump back over, check out our new images. All right, Vikings on an alien planet. Look at that. There's the icy one. This is excellent. This guy's got a magical sword. This is beautiful. Beautiful. This came out great. Let's go ahead and run this through the video. Like I said, Minimax costs a lot to run this. So, if you get into this automation, you build something out like this and you start running these automations, it's like, man, this is kind of expensive. Well, like I said, it turns out to be about the same price as doing this with a subscription, depending on your needs, all those factors, right? But obviously with this automation workflow, it's just all organized, takes a couple button clicks. So we can add in a video preset here, same thing in our prompt presets. The one that's really been working out is the subtle animation. It just, very subtle motions just to get it to move around. I think I'll stick with that, but I want to try a new one just to test it out. Burn a credit and see what happens. So this will be, let's do, we can do some kind of emotion, maybe, angry attack. Okay, this is a video style, and we'll say the figure just to test, because I'm not sure how crazy we can get with the image, with the video prompts in here coming in through the fal API. Figure snarls, and lunges in an attack. Just to see what happens. Figure lunges and snarls in an attack. So in the generation, we'll just run this on one of the videos, on one of the images. Let's run, I mean, any of these are good. I like this one. I like the color composition, color palette of this one. So we'll add our video preset, angry attack. We can see now that's our video prompt. The figure snarls and lunges in. Let's change that typo. In an attack. All right, let's generate that video. It should run through just fine. Everything should be connected here. Let's try it out. Generate video. Jump over to make, watch that run through. Cool, so in this one I set up a loop to run through and check. It'll make that call to minimax, fal.ai, minimax model, set some variables, run through, and then wait a minute, check the status from fal, and if it's completed, it will download the video and throw it into Airtable. If the status is not completed, it'll jump back over and repeat, create this loop and repeat up to 10 times and wait a minute each run to check on that video status. You can always check the status in fal. So my home page here, we have the Flux Realism model running and we have the Minimax model running. You can check the requests. We can see it's in progress, so everything's working fine. And based on the other videos from last week, we can see it's about 200 seconds, right? So, you know, over a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So 3 minutes on those generations, but once those operations come through, they all come through pretty quickly. So we can wait on that. While that's generating, we can set up some other stuff here. I think for this build, this is as far as I'm going to take it. I wanted to add another specific writer in here, but showing that off pretty easy how I do that to create new prompts, to create new prompt writers. So we have generic theme. This will just create generic scenes for whatever kind of theme. You could say pirates, monsters, whatever. And then this one we created earlier will make anything you put in into a specific theme. So we can get whatever kind of niche you are focusing on, you know, horror stories or, you know, shocking tales or history facts or whatever. We can input those niche themes and create different scenes based on, you know, with that new writer based on that theme. Cool. Same thing in here too, choosing the prompt presets, setting the image style. You know, with the Flux Realism model that I'm using, the photograph style is just what I prefer. I like that sort of painty, really, it doesn't come out super realistic when it generates fantasy images. I mean, they come out realistic, but not real looking, if that makes sense. I like that style. That's what I prefer. So I'm using this combination of create a realistic image using the Flux Realism model, but then inputting, you know, fantasy prompts to get that style. So it's just a mix how you want to generate your content, getting creative. It is a fun process once you get this up and running to experiment and see what comes out. Let's see what we got. Nothing back yet. Let's check fal or refresh fal. Looks like we're still in progress. That's great. So I wanted to get those few things set up and that'll probably be it. I think, like I said, this will be the last session for this build. Either way, I don't think there's anything else we need to add besides the full auto. But I don't even think I want to add that to this particular automation. That'll be something, if I end up using this for more content, that'll be something I add in later. The full auto settings, I have all these other ones in here. These are residual from the other automation, fully automatic AI storyteller generator. So I took that automation, my previous automation, ripped it apart to build out this one. That is how I got some of this residual information in here. I got the full how-to video for that up in the school community. It's up on YouTube. I've got the full tutorial on how to set up that AI automated faceless story generator automation in the school community. I have the links to all that stuff down below. If you want to check out my school community, jump in there. I'm always in there helping people out. Got some people in the live stream right now that have definitely utilized my aid in building this stuff out, because it is, even when I come back to these builds, every week I'm working on this one in particular once a week. And after a week, I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, what the heck did I even do here? They get really complex. All right, looks like that came back. I can check FAL. Got status code 200. Took a long time on that one, but we had some extra motion going on. So let's see what we get in the generation table. Let's check out that video. This is an experiment on the motion on the video prompt. Let's see what happens. Ooh. I'm actually pretty surprised with that. Minimax, Minimax High Law. Not sure how to say that. My brother calls it High Law, so I'm going to follow his lead. High Law does an excellent job. I think it's better than Kling in a lot of ways, but specific use cases for specific tasks. I really like that. I'm gonna maybe do another one. Let's do this one. I like this shot. This is a really, really good shot. The ocean back there is beautiful. So let's try that one too. Generate this video with the, didn't get the prompts in there. So let's stop this one. Stop this one. I don't think I can stop this one in particular. Let's go back, throw that prompt in there, angry attack prompt, and regenerate. That was a 75-cent accident right there. Cool. So yeah, I'm liking Minimax over the other models. When I set out to integrate all of these models in here, I thought I was going to do all of them. I don't think that's necessary. It's the same process going through each one. So I could walk through and test each one, but it's really not necessary. It's the exact same process, just getting in there and setting up that particular model with all the settings, all the documentation, all the API settings from FAL. And I'm liking the Minimax model. Let's back out of this one. Should be able to see the new one running through. It's currently running through that loop. Yeah, so for all of these tabs up here, we got the prohibited language list. This is a list of words we don't want ChatGPT to use when writing out prompts. So this is more useful in, Well, actually, so I use this list and the system automation bot here with this list in some of my other automations where I'm actually writing, articles and blogs and automating newsletters and stuff like that. So this comes in handy a lot more in those types of applications, having a prohibited language list. So the system automation prompt is really simple. It just says, don't use AI sounding words, sound like a human. I have this line in here specifically for, the prompts coming out, creating the image prompts with Flux. But then it says, don't use the words in this list. And I link the prohibited language list. So you can keep adding to this list phrases you don't want to be used or be highly avoided as you're making, as you're generating output text. So I use the system automation prompt a ton. In here, it's only reading this list and not inputting it into the prompts. So that one chat GPT node that's creating the image prompts. So we could add specific things like, no, I don't know, no weird, no distorted buildings or something, right? Or I would say distorted buildings, right? Because this is the prohibited language list. Something like that, right? We could tailor this actual list to be more useful for the prompting. So this would be like a no list or don't use list or negative list if you're prompting. Oh, that one came back. Let's take a look. Okay. Yeah, definitely attacking. Little crazier, but definitely attacking. I mean, that's pretty cool with the water splashing up and the staff looks weird, but the figure is going is going in hard for those attacks. All in all, the figure made very realistic staff motions. That move right there, the overhand swing crossing the arms, that's actually cool. I'm always impressed with Minimax getting better high law, but it doesn't really work out for for this video here. So wanted to burn through those credits to test it out, but I think to finish off this video, I'm actually going to do the keep my subtle animation just for, if I was running this video to add to my YouTube channel or something, I'd want to just show very subtle motion just to show I'm animating this video, right? And then it's going to be talking about certain themes that I could monetize in different ways. Not trying to get a crazy motion picture cinematic masterpiece here. So there we go. Just add my simple animation, which just adds the subtle animation video prompt. I thought I could add more to the simple animation, but I just like the output of this video prompt right here. Cool. So I'm going to download these videos to my computer and save them. Really like this one. Just to have them, always keep a repository of things you generated, just who knows. Great. Delete these out and let's go ahead and generate all the videos. So again, this will take a little while to generate, but once everything is generated here, it'll pop up all of the videos the clips will pop up in our Vikings full video right here, and we can add our music. So let's go find some music here. Jump into my Suno account. I'm working with Suno to programmatically generate music. You got to apply for their program and get their API keys through them. So let's do some kind of, let's say, cinematic. I don't know, cinematic Viking music. Let's see what comes out. Instrumental. Obviously, if you have any music you want to add to your videos already, you can just drag and drop those MP3s straight into the music section right here. This is just an attachment field, so you can drop in your MP3 files. I'm going to generate some Viking music. Now, I'm not sure if you can hear this on the YouTube stream. I know the audio doesn't quite come through. These are boring. These are boring tunes. Let's find something else. Intense. Intense. High energy. Vikings. I don't know. I don't know how to prompt sudo. Could probably ask ChatGPT. Let's check our generation table. Yeah, still generating those videos. So in the assembly table, we can check in the all data view I built in over here. We can see all the clips coming through and all the settings and all that stuff. Each of my tables in all of these, every time I build something in Airtable and I'm using it as an automation tool, I always have my working table, my working view in the table, and my all data view. So this will just show all the hidden fields, all the things you don't need to see but are required for the automation, all the settings, all the bots and the prompts that come through all get automatically put in here with some backend Airtable automations. But then to really work on a project, you don't need to see all that stuff. So in each table, I have my working view and my data view. So in the all data, you can see, oh, we got some of those videos coming through. We can see them coming through right there. So in the generation table, we got these three. These are still being generated. Let's go check on our music. Yeah, these are better. Ooh, I like this one already. I'll probably go with that one. Don't know if you guys can hear it. It's all right. Yeah, I'll probably go with this one. Let's download that. Jump into the assembly table. We're still waiting on 2 more videos. Oh, one just popped in there, it looks like. Cool. Let's throw in the music. There it is. I wonder, can I add files to the YouTube chat here? I've never tried that. No. I'll add this music file to the school group chat. You guys can check it out whether you're watching or jump on the replay. Viking cinematic. Cool. Let's check. One more video still coming through. Once that is done, we can hit assemble. That will combine all of those clips into a single video. Once that video pops in here and we have our music, that'll automatically create the finished video. Wait on that last video. In progress in Fal. See how many credits that ate. So Fal Minimax model. Let's see. This model uses, what's the cost here? I'm not sure where to check this actually. I know we can check it. There we go. Minimax. So these are all the models that I'm using or have used. So these are the ones in my home page section. So a little expensive, 50 cents per video. So if you've got 5 scenes, 50 cents per scene, it's going to add up. But again, I think with the High Law's unlimited plan, I'm just trying to remember what my brother last talked about. Don't quote me on this. I could look it up, but I don't want to. High Law's unlimited plan is $80, $90 a month, something like that, for a set amount of credits. Unlimited generation, but you get a set amount of credits. Not sure. Don't quote me on that. But it ends up being, if you generate a video per day, same price of 1 video per day. If you get in the unlimited plan and doing all the manual generation, I did the math at some point. I should have that up for you guys, but I don't. Right, so 5 scenes, 50 cents per video. You make 1 video per day and post it. It ends up being around the same costs, pretty close to the same cost. Don't quote me on that. Somebody can do that for me. I did the math at some point. So got 1 video coming through. This ocean one, I wonder how subtle it's trying to make this ocean. Yeah, so we look at Kling. Kling is, what is that, 13 cents per second. So you can do longer videos and they charge you by the second. Obviously, some of these other models are going to be a lot cheaper, but they're also going to be a lot less quality. Still waiting on this last video. Let's see where we're at. In progress. People ask me too, can you run multiple projects? Yeah, each run of Make is its own instance, right? It's its own scenario. You know, each scenario running is each time the scenario runs, it's its own instance. So you could run as many projects as you want, generating as many scenes as you want. There we go, it just came through. All simultaneously based on your plan with Make and how, how many operations you have and how much data you can push through. But you can be running multiple projects at once in here, creating multiple, scenes at once. You don't have to sit here and wait for each scene to generate. You can just keep working. Things like that you learn the more you work with Make and just start pushing stuff through. So let's check it out. I'm not going to watch each scene. I'm actually going to combine the video. Let's go into the assembly table, come into the view. We got our music. Let's combine and assemble the video. Just make sure this one is working. This chain is working in Make. Watch this one run through. So what this one is doing, it's actually going to run to JSON to video, and JSON to video is going to concatenate each scene into one long video. I get a ton of questions about JSON to video if there's an alternative. There are a couple, but JSON to video is the best one. I've found the easiest one to work with. It's a little bit pricey. I use the pay-as-you-go model, so it gets a little bit expensive if you're trying to generate a lot of content. Paying for this subscription with JSON to video, again, up to your content. What do you want to make? How much do you want to make? But as far as other tools, I haven't really found one that's just you drop it down and it works. You got to do a lot of other extra stuff to get them to work programmatically in a chain like this. So JSON to video is probably the best. So we're going to wait on that one to come back from JSON to video. Oh, came back. That should now automatically run our last chain. There it goes. Perfect timing. I'm just in the habit of knowing when these things will finish, I guess. So that ran this last chain. When the video pops in here, it automatically triggers the last chain. When the video is here, when the music is here, and when a symbol is checked, that chain automatically runs to produce the finished video. So that again runs to JSON to video. That will combine the finished video and add the music to it. So that doesn't take very long. That just runs through, puts the music on top. And here it is, final product. Not sure if you guys can hear the music, but let's take a look. Very nice. Ooh, yeah, with the fur blowing. That was a good one. Oh, nice. The music definitely adds a lot. If you can't hear it, I'll drop in this full video in the school group chat. Ooh, look at that water. Beautiful. There it is. There it is. Finished video just like that, with a new prompt giving us our new scenes with the prompt I put in here, alien planet. So our new prompt writer worked really well to come up with the image prompts to generate the scenes, and then our video subtle animation came in handy once again, coming up with the subtle stuff. This little finger tap, that gets me too. That's really cool. We got billow and smoke coming in. The fur moving is just beautiful with the cloth motion. The weird animals here moving around. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, that water is awesome. Cool. Anyway, that is probably it for this build. I'll call it short on today's live stream, just because that looks pretty good. I was gonna kind of tweak it if it didn't come out and see what else we could tweak, but everything just worked beautifully. The The goal with this automation now, what I'm going to do is record the full step-by-step how to build this automation from scratch. That video will come out. It's going to take me a while to record that one. These big automations take a while for me to put together the full how-to video. The editing process of getting that video done takes a while, but that is coming down the pipeline with this one in particular. So full how-to video, and I'll have all of the, the Airtable template and the Make blueprint available to download for free in the school community. You can follow all the links down below this video and the subsequent videos coming out for this automation. Follow the links to join my school community. I still got my special going on. It's $39 per month, but if you join, you'll be able to take advantage of my annual price, which is $99 for the year. Ends up being about $8.25 per month. So if you want to jump into the community, now is the time. And I'll have these blueprints up for download probably by the end of this week. I just want to make sure everything's tuned up and named properly. That way people can actually download them and use them with all the naming conventions all organized and, not super confusing. So I'll tune this one up, get it up in the school community by the end of the week, most likely. My schedule's super, I got a lot going on, so I usually can't make any promises on set dates, but I do my best. And then after that, I'll start recording the how-to video on building this one and all of the, supplemental tutorials, how-to tutorials for setting this one up from the template, Airtable template, and the Make blueprint. That's probably a lot harder for me to do, is record all the setup process. Setting up these automations probably might take just as long as building them from scratch, just because you're reconnecting things and inputting stuff into different places to set up your own template, Airtable template, with your own Make blueprint. So you got to reconnect everything. That's one of the pitfalls a lot of people don't understand, is when you're downloading any blueprint from anywhere, from anyone, it's going to take a lot of reconnecting and setup to get that done. So I always say just build it from scratch if you can. It's going to probably be easier and make a lot more sense. But I'll have all those videos up on how to set this one up coming in the future, because those take me the longest to get that going. So that is it. We'll call it good for this stream. Nice and short. Next week, we're starting in some N8N stuff. Again, if you're coming into the stream, I'm working in Make still with this build, because I started build this one months ago and still working in Make to build this one out. Why am I not building this one in N8N? Well, I started building it in Make. Now, we talk about Make, N8N stuff is blowing up right now. There's, shiny object syndrome is real. People are really getting on the N8N game, which is great. But if you're using Make and Make is working for you and you learned Make, and there's no problems with Make, this is my advice, there's no need to jump into N8N. It's not better. It's not doing things in a different way. It's kind of doing all the same stuff. But right now it has things, a lot less functionality, a lot less integrations than Make does, where people are really finding use cases to their benefit using N8N is the fact that you can host it locally. So N8N, you can have everything local, and people are really, jumping into that. So that's the main benefit right now with N8N. Plus some of the agentic stuff that N8N can do. That's really where people are seeing the difference. Make is coming out with agents, so that's also coming up pretty quick. You don't have to jump into N8N for that. There's also other platforms like Flowise that are producing more agentic conversational chatbot stuff. So, that's my best advice. If you're working with Make, stick with Make. Why am I not using N8N in this video? Well, I am using N8N for pretty much everything else, because it's really hot right now and it's been really fun to learn and really fun to use. Most of my content, all my content coming out on YouTube is going to be N8N, building agents, building automations, but there's not a lot of this type of integration stuff yet in N8N. Can't connect to Instagram yet, can't connect to these other social platforms yet. So that stuff still is best done in Make, or even a combination N8N triggers and agents. Then that could trigger a workflow in Make to post it to Instagram, stuff like that. So that's my advice. That's my 2 cents on all that. But I am coming down the pipeline. Lots more N8N stuff. When Make implements some new features, I'll be doing more Make stuff, and look forward to some Flowwise content on YouTube. I'll be doing some Flowwise tutorials as well. So check the links down below. Got all the links for my Skool community. Anything you want to see is going to be up there. I appreciate if you like and subscribe to my channel. That would help me out. It helps me see more of the content you guys want to see. So I look forward to seeing you in the next live stream and in the next video. I'll see you next time.